Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber here. Thanks for stopping by. Music Spins and Sounds but with Bill. Today, spinning number 137, where we're going to talk about the music from John Lennon and Pete Townsend that I listen to, plus some others. This is my weekly show where I do review the music that I listen to during this week, vinyl albums and CDs. Some in the collection, some coming into the collection. So we are going to get started here the first week. So I get my notes up a little bit here. I almost got myself all mixed up here, folks. Okay, we're going to be getting started with this 1974 LP by John Lennon called Walls and Bridges. Let me get this in there. This is kind of an ironic cover in here. See, it's going to open up that way. It's going to open up on the bottom down here. Then it's going to open up on the top up here. We got like a semi-picture of Lennon. No top to it. Unless we open up this part here. I don't know. Let's just check it out. See what I'm missing. But there's no top to it. So maybe it's missing. I don't know. I don't think it is. Doesn't look like it is because the front cover's all intact. Pretty crazy, huh? Well, anyway, this was his 72 album. It was the fourth studio album by John. There, I have 3 LPs and 4 CD box set in my collection by John Lennon, which is other than the works with the Beatles. And as you can see on the back, he's got a page kind of crazy with glasses. This was written and recorded and released during an 18-month period when him and Yoko Ono were separated. And John was off in California doing his thing. Walls and Bridges. Let's see what we see on the inside here. See it. Show you everything. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff. Take a look at it. All right, got a really nice inner. This was an American and #1 album on both the Billboard and Record World charts, including 2 hit singles, Whatever Gets You Through the Night and Number 9 Dream. Done a little bit more of who was responsible for all this art, huh? Actually, this is a picture, another picture. Pretty cool stuff. I already said other. Get back in here. Okay, I'll show you the vinyl. This was the first of Lennon's 3 #1 hits in the United States as a solo artist. His only solo charting top end single in either the U.S. or Britain during his lifetime. That just kind of contradicted what I was saying. I don't know what the heck I was saying. Apple label. Many of the lyrics on here, if you really listen to them, it's close, it kind of appears that John Lennon was enjoying himself in his separation from Yoko. Okay. Whatever Gets You Through the Night was Lennon's first #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100. This achievement, together with the U.S. success of the album, marked a big comeback for Lennon. This album, along with some coffee, made for an enjoyable Sunday morning last week. I liked it. I am going to give it a G+ for the 1974 album Walls and Bridges by John Lennon. Good start to the week. All right, what do you think? Guys people like John Lennon? Let me know. What do you think is his favorite? I don't know what his favorite. I kind of like, what is that? Double Fantasy? Kind of like that one a lot. Okay. Next one, we're going back to staying in 1974. And this one is the album Wonder World by Uriah Heep. See this one? I got this on what now? This one, you can see the ring wear. This one's been played a lot or stored badly. No inner in this one. This was a 7 studio album by the English rock band. I now, with this one, I have 2 LPs in my collection. Looking for a third. Which one would you recommend? Oh, I do have a third, but it just hasn't been heard yet. I have it in the queue. Okay, this is somewhat heavy at times with blues and prog rock thrown in. It was okay, but I was a little disappointed because I guess I set my bar too high when I heard that first Uriah Heep album, and I really liked it, and I was, they got to be so great. This one wasn't up to there, but I'm still going to give it a G for the week. Let me show you the vinyl. Please go down there. Leave me some comments on these albums, whether you'll have them or like them. The groups, do you like the artists? What is your favorite artist? What did you listen to this week? Let me know all this stuff. I'd love to hear from you. For some reason, we are not getting the music lovers over onto this channel enough. We started to grow. We were getting 50, 60 views, and then the last 3 weeks it's been 16, 17, 16. I don't know what an algorithm does. Sometimes it's a little frustrating because I'd like more people to see my collection than that. Okay. So, this is for the 74 album, A Wonder World by Uriah Heep. I'm going to give it a G. Now, while you're down there looking around, go down there and hit that like button. If you're still watching and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. It helps the channel grow. All right, moving on. We're moving on to a 2026 album by Mike Campbell, Dirty Knobs, called Mission of Mercy. This is the 4th album by them. They were when they first started off, they were formerly known as Dirty Knobs, not Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. And then as things moved on, the album, I guess Mike Campbell got to be more involved in the creation of the album and the singing. So they just changed the name to Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. I don't think there's an inner in this one either. Oh, yes, there is an inner. Look at it. Lyrics, credits. Got some pictures. The album kind of balances Campbell's love of 60s blues rock with tender character portraits, love songs, and reflective ballads. He was in the Tom Petty's Heartbreakers for a long, long time. So his music, similar to what Tom Petty used to put out. So if you're missing that type of music, I would recommend it. Check the Dirty Knobs, Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. Oh, this was rock, but it was also a little psychedelic at times and experimental a few times. At least I thought it was experimental. I'm not a full-fledged educated musician. Air conditioner driving me crazy. Oh, this was 2026, just came out recently. Had to pick it up. Got all 4 of their albums. And he does keep the Tom Petty thoughts alive. And so, for the 2026 issue by Mike Campbell and Dirty Knobs, Mission of Mercy, I'm going to give this one a G also. It's been a good week so far. All right. Where are we at now then? Oh, okay. We're getting into the CDs now. That I pick out, I pull them out. The first one is number 258. This is more like a CD EP. Vogue by Madonna from 1990. I have 3 LPs and 4 CDs in my collection by her. There's 4 tracks on here, and they're all Vogue. They're just for remixes and so forth. And I was trying to think, why did I buy this? And I remember very easily how I bought it. When I was the director of a cast that traveled around and performed with Shenanigans Youth Theater Group. Uh, my daughter Michelle wanted to do a choreography number with the music Vogue. So I went out and picked this up, put it together, a very, very good routine. It was, the audience really, really liked. So this was the Vogue EP by Madonna from 1990. I'm going to give it a G. Am I being generous this week? What's going on with old man? All right, next one. This is the 1996 LP, Best of Pete Townsend. I have 4 LPs and 4 CDs in my collection by Pete. I do like his work. I really liked Empty Glass, but this is the best of. It was released in the UK on Virgin label, and the US on Atlantic. Included songs from Pete's solo career, as well 2 songs from the album Rough Mix with Ronnie Lane. Also included a single edit of English Boy and the first appearance of Let My Love Open the Door and the psychedelic outtake, Uneasy Street. This one here really covers it. I'll look at the see if I can hear see. Rough Boy, Let My Love Open the Door, Slit Skirts, a little Face to Face, Uneasy Street, Let My Love Open the Door, another remix of it. 15 tracks on here by Pete. A lot of text on there. I think they're talking about each song some. The text is so small. I don't get to reading these two very often. It's like just on a nice clear gray label. Nothing fancy, super fancy about that one, huh? Had the great music on there. The label don't mean a lot. Back, all the tracks. Just pause and zoom in some. This here, I'm glad I got to hear it again. This was a very good addition to my collection. I have some other stuff. I really haven't forgot I had this. I haven't listened to these in so many years now. And so, the best of Pete Townsend, the 1996 LP CD, gets BG for the week. First one of the week with a BG. How do you like that? All right, so that was the CDs. It was a quick one because we had that EP that worked out. So now we're going back to albums that were in the collection for a long time, waiting their turn to be played again. Get closer to the end. And this is the 1981 LP by Genesis, Abacab. I don't know, Abacab. The 11th studio album by the English rock band. And they're in here. Let's see what it is. Back. Abacab, No Reply at All. Some good songs on here. Good stuff. Lurker. Life or Not, another record. This is good Genesis stuff. And this was like I said, the 11th studio album. And it was the first Genesis album recorded at the Farm, a recording studio bought by the group in Childenfull. This marked the band's development from their progressive roots, which they had a lot of prog rock in their past, into a more accessible and pop-orientated song. and with their conscious decision to write songs unlike their previous album. This was a good way to do it. This one did it. And the album received mostly positive, mostly mixed positive reviews from critics. It was a social commercial success, becoming their second number one LP on the UK albums chart, and their first to reach the top 10 in the US Billboard 200, peaking at number 7. I guess it could have been done a lot better, but probably their change in style of music from the heavy progressive to this type of music here probably surprised a lot of people. Didn't want to think about it. But like I said, it received mixed reviews, but it charted in 13 different countries. And let's see what I got. I have 11 LPs and 2 CDs in my collection by Genesis. But I do like their music. Being a Genesis fan, I am glad this one turn came up when I got to hear it again. I'm going to give it a G plus for the week. Abacab. Genesis, 1981. Okay, the last one of the week is by an artist that I mentioned in passing earlier in this review this week. And this one is the 1981, another 81 LP. That kind of figures they were back to back in the collection. Huh? This is Hard Promises, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 4 studio album. Features guest vocals from Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac on the duet Insider. The Heartbreakers also recorded the hit Stop Dragging My Heart Around for Nicks' album Belladonna about the time that Hard Promise was recorded. It's the last full album to feature the original Heartbreakers lineup as bassist Ron Blair left after the album's release. He later came back and did some spot appearances, did do on I think it was Mojo album, he came back and performed and toured on, and then he left again. Health reasons, I believe it was. And so, this is pretty good. Let me bring this up so I don't have to flip it up. Hard time. I should be doing this more. I got these tools here. You know, remember the song The Waiting, Woman in Love, King's Road, Letting You Go, The Thing About You, Criminal Kind. This was a good album. Backstreet Records. Delayed a little bit because there was an argument between the distributor and Tom Petty as to a price increase. The distributor wanted to raise it to $9.88. Normal cost was $8.88 in those days. Tom Petty felt that was unnecessary, not good for for his record. So I forget now who won that out. Who won on that? I should have looked that up. Well, anyway, this was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Heart Promises. I'm going to give it a G for the have 2 LPs, 9 CDs, and a 4 CD box set by Tom Petty. Tell I am a fan of his. So let's go back and pick the 2. I always do this at the end. I pick 2 that were my favorites of the week. Can't pick the Pete Townsend one because of CD. I don't pick compilations anymore because they always were winning. So I am going to pick, because I really did like it, and I gave it a G plus for the week. I'm going to pick Walls and Bridges by John Lennon. I like to hear it. Don't forget it. One of them. Okay, Mission to Mercy was good. Vogue was good. Pete Lemon. And I'm going to go with Abacab by Genesis. It's the second one to pick. The Tom Petty one was in the running. Could have been at any other week. Could have been number 2 or number 1. That is Abaca by Genesis from 1981 and Walls and Bridges by John Lennon from 1974. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Please tell your friends about this show. Get them over here so we can keep on growing. SoCal Saber saying thank you for your time. For stopping by. Be kind to each other out there. And stay safe.